Hello and welcome to another episode of War on the Sea with Saxon 22. In this episode we are going to sink the largest battleship in the game, the Yamato, the Japanese Imperial Navy flagship. It strayed a little bit too close to one of my aircraft carriers, so I was able to take it down with air power. I took it down with a torpedo strike and a dive bomber strike. Coordinated them both and got lucky and took it out. And I'm going to show you here how exactly I did that. So I found it north of Rennell Island. I didn't know that it was the Yamato. I just my scout aircraft, I should say, were out there, found the Japanese fleet, and I launched a strike group from my aircraft carrier and punched it out there, and only when I get there do I actually identify it as the Yamato. So this is my scout aircraft. I'm just putting a box around the target, and he'll keep an eye on that, while the strike aircraft make their way up from the south here over Rennell Island into the target area, sending up torpedo bombers, and I'm also going to send up some dive bombers, and they're going to travel all 24, 2 flights of 12, up to the target area. Then I'm going to position them just about right. Once they get up there, I go fast forward in time here so you guys don't get so bored watching the video, keep the video short. When I get up there, you'll see I'm going to reposition. The torpedo bombers are going to come in from the side. It's traveling from north to south. So I'm going to reposition the torpedo bombers to fly in from the east side. And I'm going to use the dive bombers to come in from the south side. So just quickly micromanage them so they start off in the right places. See, I've got them at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock on the target. And then we go into the tactical fight, and I have 2 routes. So the battleship should be somewhere north of this group that I'm in right now. This is the dive bombers, and when it populates, she just did right there. I'm going to pause the game a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and give them orders after I've identified. So the first one is the Nagato, and I identify that pretty quick, and then it's only when I get to this point that I see it's the Yamato. There's only 2 of these, I believe, in game. If that's not right, leave a comment and let me know. So I then go about setting the strike up. The torpedo bombers are flying at altitude and they have to spiral down, so I have to give them orders to move into the attack. When they get the attack order, they spiral down to about 150 foot above sea level. So I click on each flight of 4 and target the Yamato and give them the attack orders. I do that for all 3 flights, and they will then, first thing they'll do is spiral down to the sea level, and then they'll approach from the right side or the east side of the target, and they want to hit side on, which is perfect torpedo dive bombers. Second, I'm going for the dive bombers. I'm going to give them a bit of flight time so that they don't get to the target too early. This way, both the torpedo bombers and the dive bombers will arrive on the target about the same time, and this forces the air defenses on the ships, Japanese convoy, to split their firepower between the 2 groups rather than concentrating all on one group. So it takes a little bit of coordination. You see me highlighting each flight, setting up what I think is about right for the time and distance scale. I'm making them fly away and then line up so that they're going to be coming from the south to the north, straight over the top, and this gives them a better angle. I also have them lined up, I don't know if you saw it there, but I have them lined up in line ahead, so they're in one big straight line. That way they're all hitting a linear target, which is north to south, and they'll all hit the same target, whereas if they were abreast or side by side, they'd obviously, some of them would just plain old miss, because I've got them in formation. You can set them on individual attack orders as well, but I usually do it by flight. And here I'm just double checking that the flights are in fact targeting the right ship, and that they're also formed up in line ahead formation. So again, just double checking the attack orders. You can see the formation is line ahead, so I've already got that right. There's one group I'd missed the target, so I'll just give them attack orders. And this last group, dive bombers, lining them up, giving them the attack order. So now it's just a question of letting the strike go through with itself, let it play out now. You can pretty much lean back, eat popcorn, and watch the show at this point. We'll see that they're all heading for one ship. On something as big as the Yamato, you've got to pretty much set everybody to go kill it at the same time. All guns firing at the same target, otherwise you're not going to get a chance to kill it. So here we have the dramatic music, which lets you know that we're going for the attack. And it's right ahead on this side of the convoy. You can see it there on the screen. The anti-aircraft fire is hitting us hard. We're lined up pretty good here in this angle. So if you look very carefully high above, you'll see the anti-aircraft start any second now as the dive bombers get closer. We'll switch to the ship view so you can see the torpedoes coming in. Then shortly you'll see some anti-air fire being provided to fire straight up at the dive bombers. Here we get a lot of really good hits, torpedo hits. All 3 flights of 4 released torpedoes, and most of them hit the forward guns. So that's a lot of damage done right there, and you can see the shadow on the sea of the dive bombers. So if you look carefully, you'll see the dive bombers that drop their bombs. You can see the bombs coming down, detonate, and that's a lot of hits on the Yamato. This is the first time I've scored so many hits on a big ship like this, so it should be pretty effective. And there we go. That looks super horrifying. And I think we got it. You can see the ships firing ahead. So I have critical damage and critical flooding. And it's not looking good for the Yamato here. There's the sinking klaxon. So she's definitely going down. So 1 air strike of 12 torpedo bombers, 12 dive bombers hitting at the same time in coordination. Most of the planes hit. There were a few duds there. If you're watching the screen at the bottom left hand corner, you can see some of the duds. But now she's sinking. So that's a lot of points in the campaign. And I'm sure she was heading to bombard Rennell Island. The Yamato is the biggest battleship the Japanese have at the time, and that would be devastating to Rennell Island, which is lightly defended at this time in my campaign. She's going down, nose first, bow first. As the stern flips up in the air and she goes straight down. And that's a quick victory for the US forces. She sinks. Then here's the Nagato, I believe that's how you pronounce it. She's going to be next. She'll get the next airstrike. Well, hope you like that. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.